Hi, everyone. So we're gonna kick off our sacred playground this time for winter. So last spring, we did a sacred playground for transitioning into summer. And it was a really interesting time to focus on intuitive practices, intuitive movement, creativity, inner voice sessions, intuitive dress and food, sort of every area of our life. And it was during such a difficult time. And so, really playing with this whole idea of deep self-care and nourishment as an act of communal care, healing, and to help us be more clear about what we can do in this world to help harmonize our own inner experience and bring that to the world. So, how do we use these transformative practices to help us clear a path to how we then use it to transform our relationships in the world, right? So that's what Sacred Playground is about. And we're going to do one this January. So, what to expect? The unknown. Last time we had spontaneous writing sessions and meditation. Everything's recorded. You can watch it as feels good to you. We ended up just creating circles based on what was coming up for the people who were participating. So I anticipate the same for this circle, for this sacred winter cozy playground. The themes for this winter are deep pleasure, rest, coziness, right? How do we create a sanctuary in our home? How do we create a home and honor our body as sanctuary? So that whole sort of external, your space. I'm looking at my candles. I bought these really special gold candles that I've been using for mornings. So how do we find little touches that we can bring into our own homes in order to feel that deep connection to sacred source and spirit and intuition? So those are the themes really around pleasure, and the sort of mantra that I have for January for us is I am my beloved and she is mine, or I am my beloved's and she is mine. And really thinking about what that means in our heart and our home, and how we can start to really deepen our practices. So that's the main theme of what to expect. On Wednesdays, we'll have a coaching circle, like a teaching, talking, more mind-centered, more learning circle around some of the practices. What is intuitive eating? What is intuitive dressing, food, art, music? What is inner voice? What is it not? How do we connect to consciousness? Why do we do that? What are the elements that have been perpetuated by white supremacy culture? How do we move past that? How do we keep opening and expanding to one another in our authentic experience? So Wednesdays will be these coaching and teaching circles that'll be much more mind related. And then on Sundays, we'll have our sacred circle. So on Sundays, we'll have much more just quiet and prayer, inner voice sessions together, breathing together, blessings, ceremony, ritual. So Wednesdays we'll have more of like a classroom setting, and then Sundays will be more of a sacred circle setting. So that's really what the playground is made up of, is those two elements. Wednesday times and Sunday times will be determined. There'll be a little poll in our social network, our social circle on Mighty, on the Lola network, to decide based on the participants. So those are some of the basic logistics. Oh, and we're going to start on New Year's Eve day. So on December 31st at 9 a.m., we will start with our first opening circle, and we'll really come together. All are welcome. The time I ran this in the spring, we did have a closed circle, which means people signed up and did a pay what you can. The intention of this circle is that it feels really open. I want people to drop in when they can. I want to have all these resources in the sacred cozy playground circle on Mighty Network, so you can always tap back into it in February, March, any other time of the winter when you might need it, or maybe next year. and really just offering this. It was so fun when we did it in the spring together that I just want everyone to feel welcome. It is another pay what you can sliding scale option. So please don't let money hold you back from this community care experience, okay? So we're gonna start off on December 31st, really close out 2020. There's a lot to close out. What a powerful and potent year, right? I mean, really, I want us all energetically to close out 2020 as we turn towards 2021, as we turn towards the future, as we dream into the future we want, as we vision for the future we want, right? What does that look like? So let's close out 2020 on December 31st, which will be our opening of the Cozy Sacred Playground, and move towards all of that January time. January is such a big, long, beautiful, delicious, dark month to do this. I am so excited. As most of you know, winter is my favorite season, and I love everything cozy. So I am really excited to spend this month with you. It's also, January is a pretty big month for me professionally in a lot of ways with some of my AU work, and I'm going to be teaching at a new university. And so I'm really excited to balance that workload with our playground and let the playground work and the intuitive work guide my day job, shall we say. Okay, so then we'll move through the month. There'll be a new moon and a full moon in that month. We also have the change of the Hebrew month, which happens on Rosh Chodesh, which is right after the dark moon into the new moon. So we'll be doing some themes of that new month as we're moving through. And I love our next Hebrew calendar month. The theme is curiosity. So what alignment for our time together that we would be curious about our connection to spirit and source and life and deepening our practices. And then we will close the circle on January 31st, which is a Sunday, and it's the day of our pause retreat. So all Sacred Playground, everyone welcome to come and carve out that day together. We'll be on and off Zoom, just like we did with the fall one, the fall pause retreat. And I'll set that all up and let you all know the details of that. But we will close Sacred Playground on January 31st on that Sunday with a day-long retreat, like 9 to 3-ish. And what joy. I'm just already looking forward to, I'm sort of projecting, like looking back, like, wow, what will January be and feel like, and knowing that we have that day long together to rest and connect and restore and really kind of point out all the wow that happened over the month. So to give you an idea also of like who this might be good for, really for people who want to deepen practice, who are interested in how the intersection of creativity and intuition can really develop confidence, strength, clarity on your life path. I mean, I think that's really at the essence of what these playground little containers are. You know, they're like an incubator really for deepening sacred practice, for deepening the lived experience, deepening embodiment and integration. So there's so many wonderful books on health and wellness and intuition and spirit and source, all the things. But what does it feel like when it's actually your lived experience? So I'll give you an example of the Hebrew, I'll show you. The theme for this month is Yirah. If you listen to the podcast, you know that. And that in this translation is awestruck. And this morning when I got up and I did my candles and I made an altar that faces, or my altar, I didn't make it, it has been there, faces the east, but I've been changing my morning ritual a little bit. So now I'm sitting on the floor in my morning altar in my office and I can see the sunrise and the whole sky was pink and there's beautiful candles. And I'm sitting there in silence and all I could feel in my whole body was Yirah. Right? Awe, like, wow. And those are the kind of experiences we share together in the circle. We do together. We invite other people to do. There's a community on Marco Polo that will be run by one of the Lola ambassadors and Inner Voice certified trainees, Michelle Schumann, and she'll run the Marco Polo support group for our Sacred Winter Playground, where you can post pictures of that and really share your experience. There's nothing like being supported in community for your practice. It's definitely built into all the wisdom traditions that you don't do this alone. It's not like, why would you do it alone? It's so much more delicious when we do this work together, when we do our grieving ceremonies and our celebration rituals, and we honor sunrise and sunset in each day, that we really see our whole life and our whole world is made up in these 24 hours. So I just think it's an invitation for anyone who feels curious, interested, wants to see where creativity and intuition might come alive. Anyone who is part of the spring one who's like missing having that group, you're welcome to join us. You might want to invite a friend or a relative who kind of maybe has been lost this year, maybe doesn't feel so connected to her source and spirit. But again, remember that it's the sacred playground. It's meant for play. It's meant for music and dance and nature and food and pleasure at the deepest levels. So all are welcome. If you have any questions, let me know. You know where to reach me, Pleasance@Little And may you be well, may you be safe, may you find and feel pleasure in all of your days.